that through cinema, people have dominated the world. Through cinema, we must also be able to promote our cultures and reclaim our place in the world stage. We cannot continue to consume. That's what they want to impose on us. We must manage to create. Many people or many states did not understand the meaning of cinema. And I hope the awakening is now that we can give value to our productions, that we can encourage our productions and ensure that filmmakers from all over the world can meet in circumstances like this. And I say it again, the world would be better if we understood that it is through culture that we can weave these bonds of love and fraternity. I am convinced, and we will do everything possible so that our cinema and you filmmakers can live from your art, and we can create to educate. Because the primary goal of cinema is to educate.
Through cinemas and movies and films and video songs and all that, a white man really corrupted the minds of African youths so much. I think it is one of the things that was really used at large to corrupt the minds of the African youths. Because right now you'll realize that many things that African youths are doing, it is like they are copying the West. Many things, the styles of walking, the styles of speaking, how they present themselves, even during in terms of music and all that. A lot of things. We started seeing strippers from these clubs. You see, we started seeing some certain video songs, how they are shot, how they are created. And in Africa, it began now also working out. So our cultures as Africans has been destroyed, and our cultures were infiltrated with because of issues like these ones. Talk about the movies, you'll see how the movies be like, and people really don't know their culture anymore, especially in Africa. Ibrahim Traore hosted the African Cinemas. The African Cinemas is a group of people in Africa who are associating themselves with the African cinemas, the cultures and all that. Okay, so Ibrahim Traore hosted them in Burkina Faso because I think they were going to maybe do cinemas in Burkina Faso, and he told them that we can use these cinemas to actually educate our youths in Africa, educate them and show them the right way, tell them what they're supposed to do, because through these cinemas, they will take it as fun, but it will enter their minds. Because even when the white men, they were using these cinemas on us, we took it like a joke. We used to look at it and enjoy and have fun with them. But at the end of the day, we are now, we now came to nurture those habits, those characters, and those behaviors. So Ibrahim Traore hosted these African cinemas, and here is what they said in that meeting. Take a look.
If only the world could understand that we could make peace through culture, we would live better, we would live happily. There is nothing better than that. Unfortunately, that has not always been the case, and it is not ready for tomorrow. But we are counting on you to be able to change the world. Today, geopolitics, as we observe it, does not necessarily lead us towards a better tomorrow. But we are convinced that through the culture of each people, we can weave bonds of friendship, love, and brotherhood for a better world. Thank you for coming to Burkina Faso. Thank you to those who have conveyed this message. Burkina Faso stands tall, remains resilient, because your presence is not just to participate in FESPACO, but it's a message you send to your respective homelands and to the entire world. That Burkina Faso stands tall and that we continue to do so. to live and that we continue to fight. Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving us the human warmth we needed. I hope your stay goes very well and that everyone returns to their country in good health. It can't be perfect, that's for sure, but we will continue to improve and prepare for 2027 eventually. In any case, thank you for the friendship. Thank you for the brotherhood. I believe in cinema. And I often say to the minister that through cinema, people have dominated the world. Through cinema, we must also be able to promote our cultures and reclaim our place in the world stage. We cannot continue to consume. That's what they want to impose on us. We must manage to create. Many people or many states did not understand the meaning of cinema. And I hope the awakening is now that we can give value to our productions, that we can encourage our productions and ensure that filmmakers from all over the world can meet in circumstances like this. And I say it again, the world would be better if we understood that it is through culture that we can weave these bonds of love and fraternity. I am convinced, and we will do everything possible so that our cinema and you filmmakers can live from your art and we can create to educate. Because the primary goal of cinema is to educate. And education, when we make a film about our culture, is to show a younger generation certainly how our ancestors lived in good harmony, how our parents lived in good harmony, what are the values we must uphold today, incorporate and also live in good harmony with our neighbors. The loss of culture therefore leads to all sorts of declines in society, and it leads us to what we are experiencing. Wars have not ended, disputes have not ended. And who better than you behind the camera to show current and future generations what is the right way to live? What are the values to draw from our cultures to live in good harmony with ourselves and with nature? So I can only encourage you. Congratulate the world of cinema, and I can tell you that we will spare no effort to give the best of ourselves so that your works can improve and communicate with generations, educate them, and ensure that peace reigns in the world. Through you, I believe we can live in peace. Thank you. Why make war if we can meet and experience such moments? In any case, I urge you to spread the message. Continue to educate through cameras, through images. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the cinema festival. Please farewell. This weekend, therefore, it will be, thank you, the final clap. And so we will eventually see the happy ones. But everyone comes out a winner in this affair because it brought us closer. It has created bonds of love, of brotherhood, and that's what we are looking for. Through cinema, we become more than ever brothers. Thank you very much. Thank you for participating, and may God keep each and every one of you.
Africans have a culture. And African culture right now, and many a times, most right, like as we're talking right now, the African culture is no longer at its best because we are using cultures of the West, of cultures from the West. That is the culture that we are using. Even the languages we're speaking, English is not an African language. English is a Western language. But it is the language that we are using today because they came to teach us their language. When they came to Africa, we were not speaking English. English was not one of our language. We had African languages that we were speaking. Okay? And so when they came to Africa, they came with their own language, which is English. They took it in the schools and all that. Okay? Many other cultures. In terms of food, let's talk about foods. Right now, Africans are using the West food at large because we are getting out of the cultures we had as Africans. In Africa, we no longer eat the brown ugali. We don't eat it. We only eat the white one. Okay? In Africa today, we no longer like we are even buying the meat that is placed on this on the how does it called? I don't know. It is wrapped. It is sold from the supermarkets. We don't drink blood of animals as we used to. Like a lot of things have really changed in Africa, and it has changed because we feel like our cultures in Africa is not the same, like it's not the best culture. We feel like the West culture, or rather this culture that was brought to us by the imperialists, we feel like it is the best culture. Talk about the ways of worship and all that. We used to go to the mountains. We used to some people used to go around the tree. Some people used to go to the tree, to a certain tree, and then they will pray from there. And those were the African cultures. But many other cultures came. And when many other cultures came, the cultures which were brought to us by the Western community, we forgot our cultures. We really forgot our cultures. Even the way of raising children. You see, African mothers, those African mothers back then, compared to the Western mothers, they are very, very, very different. When we were young, when we were growing personally as Africans, we were not allowed to, like there are things we were not allowed to do. There are some of the things we couldn't do back there at home. And if your mother would find you doing such a thing, you'll be beaten up thoroughly. But you see, when you go to the West, it is normal. It is really normal. Things like those, something that you think you're in Africa, you're a kid, you're not supposed to be doing. When you go there, it is very normal. And even if you do it, nobody cares because I don't know. I don't know how they take it themselves. So Africans, we got out of our cultures. Why did we go out of our cultures? Because we are watching the cultures of these people in the television. We are watching the cultures of these people in the news and everywhere, in the video clips they are making. And you see, we need to come back to our culture. By coming back to our culture, that means we can be able to do things our own selves. Let us embrace the use of Kiswahili in Africa. Let us embrace the use of other African languages in Africa. We need to find one language that the whole of Africa will be speaking, that particular language. Every country in Africa will be speaking by that particular language. If it is Kiswahili, it should be Kiswahili. If it's another language, it should be another language. That is the only way we can put ourselves together. Because even Ibrahim Traore has said that through these cinemas, we can bring people together. When we bring them together, that is like a sign of unity amongst ourselves. So it is going to be very good if we can embrace our cultures, and if we can go back to our cultures using these cinemas and using every other thing, the films, the videos, and even like a lot of things, we can still go back to who we are supposed to be as Africans. I am the African Streamline. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here at this time. I love you so much, my black brothers from Caribbean, from diaspora, and from Africa in particular. You guys are great people, and I salute you. As I tell you every day that Africa is home, and anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as Africans. Adios, muchachos. Peace.